How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Entrepreneur Podcast. In this episode, I will be doing a mashup with one of my longtime friends, Frank Downstar Garcia, and his podcast, Downtime with Downstar. In this episode, him and I just basically discuss what it's like being an entrepreneur, as he's been a business owner for the past 10 years now, coming up on 2019. Some of the struggles that we've both been through, and what it's like pushing through those struggles in order to see that success. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Welcome to the Entrepreneur Podcast with your host, Anthony Estrella. Get it? Entrepreneur? Come on! The Entrepreneur Podcast discusses the good, the bad, and most importantly, the ugly of what it's like being an entrepreneur in today's day and age. So join us for some fun, laughs, and straight up shop talk.
What's up, everybody? Another episode of Downtime with Downstar, episode 29. And today I'm sitting here with my boy, Anthony Estrella. And he is, well, you go ahead and explain. Let's get your intro.
What's up? It's Anthony Estrella, aka the Entrepreneur. I've got a podcast that's just kind of based around, you know, my entrepreneurial journey, everything that I've gone through, and as of recently, I've been really going into my eBay drop shipping, and just kind of talking about that journey. So it's been going great. I've been getting a lot of, you know, really good feedback. We've only got, you know, 2 episodes, and then one is in the works, and then you know, we do definitely plan to you know, put more out there, but you know.
Yeah, so you since the last time we talked, you actually got the podcast going.
Yeah. So the day that we actually did that podcast,
Yeah, I forget what number it was. I'll look it up right now.
I think it might have been 16 or something like that.
Okay.
So you were like, all right, this is going live in 2 days, which meant that I had to get my shit, you know, recorded, edited, basically put up within 2 days.
Right.
But that was a big reason of why I wanted to do it so quickly, because I think when you had text me, I think you were like, let's do it, I think like tomorrow morning or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, like I don't have any like of my material, anything like that. So that I knew would like push me to get mine like basically up and going, because I already had the content. It was just a matter of recording it and doing all that. So yeah, it was definitely, you know, cool to kind of light that fire under my ass, you know what I mean?
So this is going to be like our first collabo pod ever, because hopefully we're going to get this on your channel too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to do a mashup with you, just because, you know, obviously we both do podcasts, and you're a businessman, an entrepreneur, and that's something that, you know, like we talked about on your last episode, that's something that we've had in common since day one. So I just thought it'd be cool to, you know, just kind of give, you know, your community a different perspective on, you know, the businessman of, you know, Downstar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I think that's cool. I think it's really cool for, you know, people to see that different side.
Yeah, I don't think that many people really know about it. You know, even kind of our marketing tactics, they're not the normal.
Right.
You know? And it's kind of the business side of it. I don't know, I think it gets overlooked a lot. Absolutely. But it's fucking there. It's definitely fucking there, you know.
I think it's more there than, you know, what people see, you know what I mean? So kind of go into, you know, your business, what it is that you do and how long you've been doing it for.
Okay, so I'm the owner of Downstar, and Downstar, we specialize in dress-up hardware and in Japan accessories. And pretty much what that is like the jewelry for your car.
Yeah.
For the engine bay, which is under the hood.
Right.
So it's the stuff to make it look nice and give it its own style. We've been around since 2009.
That's incredible, man.
Right?
That's incredible.
Remember that?
10 years, man.
Yeah, because you've been around way before that.
You know what's funny is I remember, dude, like when you were just like spamming the shit out of everyone, right? With like different pages, like different everything. You're like, hey, follow this. And like at first I was like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? Because I didn't know a lot about cars or anything like that. But it was like, I was like, what is this? And it was almost to the point to where like you just kept reinviting. And that goes back to your point of like, it's not very typical what you do, but it works, man. And you know, why do you think that is? Like, why do you think, right? Something as simple as, you know, dress up kits, jewelry for an engine bay.
Yeah.
I think it's more you, right? That the community is gravitating towards. So kind of talk about that, you know, because I feel like if it wasn't this, it's something else.
Yeah.
But why this, and why has it been so successful?
That's a really hard one, dude, because I'd like to think that people are excited about, you know, my personal growth and the brand's personal growth. You know, I think that's a really attractive thing. Yeah.
Oh, mine's over here.
I don't know if it's mine. Just see if you could put yours a little further away. Probably on top of the TV should be cool or whatever. All right, that's cool. But that's what I would like to think it's that, and people like to see growth and stuff and progression. And I always like to drive those points, you know, making the most out of your day, you know, going after your dreams and making small goals and just keep moving forward. You know, I always say, like, whether you move an inch a mile, you're still going forward. Like, you're better than staying still.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you just stand there, like, you're not doing anything.
Right.
That's just as bad as going backwards. Because if you're not going forward, you're staying the same. And that's backwards, you know?
You're getting passed by.
Yeah, if you're scaled by your peers or whoever you think that are your peers, and they start passing you up, you either have a different group of peers, which is in a lower scale.
Yeah.
To you.
Right.
Because in your heart, you know what you want to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
In my heart, I knew what I wanted to be. And I knew all these people that follow us, I know what they want to be. So it's me showing, okay. I don't know. I said like Tony Montana. But I said, okay, everybody. Trip out, look at this, guys. So this year I'm going to build this car, you know, so I build the car, and they see the progression of that. They see where it goes, and then the publicity and media gets after that. Yeah. You know, and this shit's only as big as we make it.
Absolutely.
Like this is our world. Everybody listening, this is our world.
Yeah.
So when you look at like the hip hop community, that's their world. Who's saying that we can't be leaders? You know what I mean? Why is our passion, why is it less than theirs? Why is it held less than an actor, an actress, you know, a musician? Like, why is our passion less? Because you can sing like a motherfucker. Yeah. But these dudes are building Hondas that go 7 seconds. What the fuck? You know?
What does it matter?
What does it matter? Yeah. What is it? It's all in your, it's how you think about it. You know what I mean? So when we go to these car shows and we see these owners of these cars, I mean, they're the celebrities. Yeah. They're the dudes out there. They're the ones that are building the cars and get the recognition. So you can either be the celebrity that when you meet them, you're like, damn, this is a fucking dickhead. Fuck this guy. You know? Or you could be the celebrity, the fucking Drake. You could be, you know, you could be fucking cool with everybody, giving back. Yeah. And that's what I want to do. So it's either they're looking at us for that, that's my motivation. Absolutely. I love doing that. Or it's they just like the product. And either way, whatever's working.
Absolutely.
Working.
And you're doing it for the right reasons, you know, which is really cool. And I, you know, just kind of seeing you grow over the years. I mean, I remember, just for the longest time wondering like, hey, like when are you gonna get, a warehouse? When are you gonna get this? And you're like, no, don't need it, don't need it, don't need it.
Yeah.
And like now you've gotten to the point to where it's like you probably can't do business without it now.
Oh yeah, dude.
And to have that problem is pretty fucking cool, and it's been almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
And I just admire what you must go through and have to overcome, having the success that you do.
Yeah.
Because success is not easy. And I think that's like the biggest thing that people miss, is the more successful you get, the more work it is, the harder the
It's
job.
a level up.
It is, and people tend to miss that. And I think that's why a lot of, businesses or products might go unappreciated, and so, just talk about like, some of the ups and downs that you maybe have had to go through over, now coming up on 10 years and literally bootstrapping the entire business from day one.
Dude, it's been nothing but a blessing, bro. It's yeah, it's been hard, but back in the day when I would have to wake up at 7:30 in the fucking morning,
Yeah.
that was hard as fuck. And that's every day.
Right.
Hard. And not hard on me physically, hard on my soul. My soul was hurt every single morning I would wake up and I would just be like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And even I put myself in a situation back then where it was still cool. My job was pretty dope.
Right.
But it was still, I didn't feel free. I felt trapped, and it takes like that type of person to realize that they are trapped.
Yeah.
Such as yourself.
Right.
And I know that you're chasing the same thing I was chasing.
Yeah.
Because we have the same feelings. You're not a 9 to 5 kind of guy.
Yeah.
And you need to, every second, you need to be focusing on something.
Absolutely.
In the future,
Yeah.
So we're both on the same roads. No matter where I'm at and you're at, it doesn't matter. We're both going to the same destination.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I've always been proud of your growth. And even when you were doing the no drop, when you started that, I was behind that 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember. Yeah.
Because I knew you had potential because we were hustling. Right there next to each other. We were hustling, And
that was always a cool thing too, because it was like, with you, like, it didn't matter if it was a success. It didn't matter if I was, making money, losing money. It was just like you were supporting the hustle.
Yeah.
Because you knew everything that it takes, you know? And so, I really think that, for you to have been able to do what you have done on your own, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Is something that a lot of people don't get to experience, and I would say like your results aren't necessarily typical.
I would say they're not.
But the struggle is.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
The struggle is still real. Yes, your results are not typical. Like you've done well, all of that. But that doesn't mean like you're not going through hardships. That doesn't mean
definitely.
you're not going through growing pains and things like that, and there's a lot that people don't see when it comes to that, especially on Facebook and social media. It's really easy to show everybody the good stuff, but the bad stuff, I feel like a lot of people might not even understand,
Yeah.
because they don't think the same way that you and I do.
Yeah, I've run into that so many times.
Really?
And it's usually when we have any sort of issues, they're public. All of our issues are always public because people tend to make them public.
Right.
Yeah. And I used to be that kind of person, but with growth of anything, you have to grow yourself.
Yeah.
And I had to grow myself and change the way that I dealt with situations. And I'm continuously evolving.
Yeah. You have to adapt.
Exactly, dude. You can't hold me to who I was 6 months ago. I'm not that same person anymore. So, just, people not understanding that, what their actions make them appear to be. And I think that that's what bothers me a lot, because when I see like some negativity towards us,
Yeah.
that person has zero reason to have any ill will, because I don't give anybody any reason.
Right.
You know, they have that in their heart, and I feel bad that they stoop to that level of expressing it on social media. And I'm just like, dude, what's really good, dude? Because like, why are you mad at me?
How bad is your life?
How bad is your life? I'm not
mean?
stunning on you. I'm not saying I make more money than you or whatever.
Right.
You know, I'm just saying like, what's up with your day, bro? Your day's fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, because if you're trying to bring my day down, I didn't even do nothing to you.
Taking time out of your day.
Exactly, dog. Like, chill, bro. I have shit I gotta do.
Right.
I got orders I have to do. I have emails I gotta answer. I got DMs. You know, I gotta take care of all that shit, dude. If anything is purchased through Downstar, it goes through me.
That's insane, man. And the reason why I say that that's insane is because I've been, running my eBay business for about 6 months now, and I already have a virtual assistant who's out in the Philippines who does all my listing. Like, I don't even list anymore, and I'm like about ready to hire one to do customer service, returns, because the shit is too tedious, right? It takes up too much goddamn time to fill orders, print out invoices, do this, do that. So there's obviously a big saying in entrepreneurship or in business, you can't be working on the business if you're too busy working in the business. Yeah. And so
it's a hard balance.
It really is. So how do you balance that? How do you, and you're still effective with it. So how do you balance all that? Cause you have what, maybe like 1 employee, 2 employees?
Yeah.
So, I mean, other than, what they do, how do you balance just being able to run the entire thing on your own?
I'm just built for it, dog.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's a true answer. I like that. I like that.
I'm just built for it.
Yeah.
Like I'm the person that somebody would go to when there was an issue.
Yeah.
And I love being that person, that hub.
Right.
That person that gives that strength to that person to either, come up with an idea or a plan or a solution or whatever.
Yeah.
Or even some way to bring their pain down.
Right.
Everybody has that person.
Absolutely.
And you can be that person to somebody, and that somebody can be that person to you. And you guys are all hubs.
Yeah.
Somebody always needs somebody.
Right.
But I want to be like, I've always been like that person to just be like, all right, I know what to do. We can figure this shit out. So I don't really get freaked out about shit, dude. It's just like the business is running good. I don't make stupid decisions.
Yeah.
I don't even be spending money like crazy, you know?
Right.
You're talking maybe buy a pair of shoes here and there. And I'm like, dog, are you serious? I used to do that shit when I worked at Best Buy.
Yeah, making nothing.
Yeah, like how things are, we are living way below our means, because that's when you start playing with fire, dude.
Yeah.
I've always been that person. Even when I worked at Best Buy, dude, I had money saved up all the time.
Right.
Just in case we had a deal came up. You're like, yo, dude, you want to go half on the system? I'll get the sub, you get the amp.
Yeah.
And we've done that plenty of times.
Right.
If I didn't have that money ready, I miss out on the deal. So, dude, I'm like, I'm not trying to show off to anybody when I do this shit. It's like the Meek Mill, like motivational purposes.
Yeah.
Like, I want you guys all to feel this shit.
Right.
I don't never want you to think that I think that I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you've been through in your life, and who am I to judge?
Absolutely. And I think that, that's important too, because that's a big reason why I do what I do. And sometimes it's maybe even a little hard for me to do it because, the things that I've done up to this point haven't necessarily been quote unquote successful, from a monetary standpoint. Yeah. But one of the really, inspiring things is the people who reach out, right? I want to say there was even a guy who found me off of your episode, and just so happened to be into eBay drop shipping, but just didn't know like which way to go.
Wow.
And he was like, hey man, like I just listened to your podcast, and he was like, it's really good information. And so he wanted to see like a bunch of the links that I was talking about in the podcast.
Got you.
So I sent him over, to my Facebook page, and I was like, hey, just so I know, like where people are coming from, like how did you find out about the podcast? And he's like, well, I build Hondas. And I was like, oh, so you must have heard about me, from Downstar, and so it's just like, even like stuff like that is still inspiring to me, because even though I might not know everything, or I might not be doing everything right, I might know enough to help somebody else get to where they want to get to. And that's the whole point of doing it, and that's why I started in the first place. But one thing that I've noticed about it, right, is like, as much as you and I want people to be like us and think like us, right? They're not. And I think that's okay, right? It's okay to have the 9 to 5.
No, definitely.
And I think that the world does need that. It's like, my wife is really good at what she does, so I'm always trying to get her to like kind of start her own thing. And she's like,
that's not me.
I'm not really into that. I just want to go out and just help the kids I want to help, and that's it. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. Like, and I think that I think it's just a type of person,
I think so. Everybody that I've met that is successful in their realm, and when I mean successful, I mean that the point that they're at right now in life is the best position that they've ever been in. Right. It's not saying that you don't miss loved ones or anything like that, but the point in your life where you're at right now is the best. Yeah. Because of all the lessons you've learned, the growth you feel at your best. Yeah. That's success to me right now, this day. Me, and I could also speak for my wife, like we are both at the best we've ever been. Yeah. And that's success to me. And I want everybody to feel that. Right. So no matter if your other ventures weren't quote unquote successes, like you learned from that stuff, and you've taken those hits already on smaller things. So when it comes to the bigger stuff, you won't have to go through that hit. And you're explaining it to people on your podcast and telling them the things that you've gone through, and hopefully they don't have to make those mistakes in the future. So you're a hub for somebody. You're all growing. I feel that we're energy, and we're spreading our energy to as many people as we can. And that's why you have all these big celebrities. They are able to spread their energy out more, and we're hoping that the message that they're spreading will build up other people instead of take them down. Right. And I really feel like that we are like a power plant, and we're feeding others energy. Because anybody I try to interact with, I always try to give them a positive energy. Yeah. I always ask 100% how are they doing? Always ask. No matter what the interaction is, we're at the liquor store or whatever. I was, hey, how's it going? Oh, good. What can I help you with? Yeah. They're telling me, and I'm like, I'm the customer, Right. But I always want to show people that they matter. Yeah. I never want people to feel like that they're just here because a robot hasn't been programmed yet to do your job. Right. You still need a little human in it. Absolutely. I always want those people to feel like they're a part of the machine. This whole life that we live is a machine, and whatever job that you do feeds a certain machine. You know what I mean? Yep. Just like your drop ships. Yeah. That's all a physical product. Right. That physical product was made by somebody. The people that made that made money. The money they used to live, this is a fucking machine. Right. So the bigger part of the machine you make yourself, like, of course, the more you're going to be compensated on, because you're going to have more of a load on you. If you're making millions a year, that's all fine and dandy. Right. But you have the problems of somebody who's making millions a year. Yeah. And that's what comes down to even these rappers and celebrities and ball players and shit. Like, they're getting paid for it.
I think about it sometimes. I do think about that sometimes. Not that I have like the fucking physicality or the talent to be like one of these professional athletes or even like just a superstar, right? Of any sort. Like sometimes I think about it and it's like I don't know if I can like live that life.
Yeah.
You see like you don't live a normal life, and there's certain people I think who can handle that, right? Like, yeah, we all want to be a movie star. We all want to be, a big rapper, make millions of dollars, but it comes with a territory, man. And that's the brutal truth of getting to that level.
Yeah. And it's just depends on how far you want to keep pushing it,
It's a scary.
I never want to get to the point where I have my family and relationship and family members in scrutiny every single day. No,
that's rough.
In trade for what? I know that, bless you, I know that what they're getting, this is more than my wildest dreams.
Yeah,
but that's not who I am. This is my family. Like, I don't want to have to live with security. I'm good. I want to be like the cat who I want to be, like the owner of, just say, another car company, like a big car company, just say like Holly or something,
right?
Even the owner, JL Audio, the owner of JL Audio, who is it? Just some dude, but in his field, he is at the top of his class, and he's gotta be deep. He's gotta be super rich, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who is this dude? This dude is in Vaughn's.
Nobody knows.
Pushing the car. Let me get this. He gets the expensive bread, with the raisins. And the syrup already on it. The syrup's on it. And he gets a sandwich meat from the deli. Can we get a thin, please? Thank you. Just like last time. Thank you. And he tips 100. Tips the sandwich lady $100. That's that fool. That's who I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. But if I want to go to like a concert or something, hit somebody up. I have connects with somebody's son who's Drake. I'll get to it. That's how I want to be able to have that kind of pool,
right?
Where I still fit in. I know some people that know some people. That's what I want to be. But I never want to be the person on TMZ, dog. Nah, I'm good. Keep those millions. I'll be cool with a few millions.
And you know what? I was listening to a podcast the other day, right? Talking about that, and it was NFL in particular. It was one of the Aaron. It was a Aaron Hernandez podcast, right?
Oh shit! Yeah. I heard about that one.
And they were talking about obviously all the concussions and brain damage and this and that. Well, at the end of the podcast, like they're asking some of these players, like, dude, like, is it really worth it, right? And the NFL player's response is like, he hit, I think it was like 3 different things. It was, number one was you get out there and your ego takes over.
Yeah.
So the brain damage and the punishment is worth it. You get out there, you're making millions of dollars when you just came from the ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the brain damage is worth it. And then you have the fame, and it's like, so for some people, like, being the person on TMZ, like, is like they're able to live that life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like it's the world just needs different types of people, But
definitely.
I feel like what's cool about what we're doing is, especially when it comes to you talking about the business on social media, inspiring people to do what they want to do, right? Like, how are you going to be better? Like, what are you doing better today than you
just
were
like
doing?
I hit you up.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And that's that's what I mean. Is like we're using it to try to spread, energy, like you said, to people to do well.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like you hit me up and you're like, hey dude, like you only have, 2 episodes on your podcast. Like let's pod, and it's like, that's true. right? But you need those types of people, I think, in your life,
Yeah.
to be able to progress you, in that direction.
Yeah, dude, we're a rare breed as it is.
Yeah.
So it's not like family members really understand it, because to them we look like we're doing good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's a lot of family members that wouldn't notice like that you hadn't uploaded, because
Right.
it's just like, oh, he's doing this or he's doing that or this.
It's cool.
You're still moving.
Yeah.
You're doing something. There's nothing wrong with you. You're doing good. But you need those people that know like kind of the in-depth shit,
Right.
and seeing how passionate you were about it, and have been in that situation where you just need that little kick in the ass.
Absolutely.
And that I got that kick in the ass, and that's why I'm here with the podcast, because my buddy, he was doing we did a podcast together, and he gave me all the links, and he kind of like, he was telling me, dude, I need help, I'll help you out. And I told Ash, she's like, just do it, just buy his shit. I'm like, fuck it. And then 29 episodes later, we're here.
Yeah.
You just need those pushes.
Right.
And when you see those opportunities open, just do it. It doesn't cost you shit.
That's that's the important thing, right? It's like, it's just, dedicating your time.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you really want to do something, you'll do it. And it's, for me, it's like, yeah, like I've just, kind of been making excuses onto, why I haven't done it.
Yeah.
Right. But then you call and it's like, hey, let's do it today, tonight. All of a sudden, like, I have time, to do a podcast. Like, all of a sudden, like, and so that's when like you're making excuses, and it happens, right? It happens to me.
Yeah, dude, nobody's perfect. I do that shit all the time
with my eBay business. It happens to me when I'll go a couple days without like maybe putting orders through, when really I should be putting them through every goddamn day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I'm only hurting myself, but it's just part of the game, right? It's like you gotta just, because there's nobody to kick you in the ass, right?
This is what it is, dog. Okay. We only have 24 hours in the day. Divide your whole fucking day up as much as you can.
Yeah.
You don't have much time.
Right.
Some days you can use all that energy. Some days you just want to fucking chill.
Yeah.
And you deserve that, because you're fucking kicking ass all the time. If I take a day to just chill, I'm gonna go run this errand that doesn't have anything to do with work,
right?
But I want to get it done.
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks ago, I just got my wheels done for the BMW. I didn't have to do it, but it was a little thing that I wanted to do. It makes me feel good,
right?
Like all this hard work is worth it. So I went, did it, got it, and run errands, whatever. I didn't get much work done at Downstar. I need time, dude. I need time, and everybody needs that shit,
right? And it's like, really, what's like? Did anything happen? No.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You go in the next day.
Nothing.
It's just
the same shit.
But it's that mindset, right? The way that we think, and it's funny that you bring that up. With family and understanding, because I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of friends who are entrepreneurial, from the group of friends that we've done. And
yeah.
I'm not sure about your family, but, there's not necessarily a lot of that in my family other than, my stepmom. But do you feel like it's hard sometimes? Or does your parents, or does your family, I should say, do they do a good job of supporting you? Even from the beginning?
No, dude, they've always had like so much love for what I do.
Yeah.
Like they've never told me really anything. Like they always just let me do me.
Gotcha.
Let me be me, let me do me. And as long as I follow the rules of being a kid,
right,
that was it. So I was always doing me, because I never hit them up for shit.
Yeah.
If there's anything that I ever asked my parents for, it was like before I was 16.
Right.
After that, I didn't ask them for anything,
Yeah.
And if I did, it was a favor.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
This wasn't something that I expected, like I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I already had a job. I went into working young, so I knew what money was, and I wasn't about to put my burdens on them. But they've always just whatever I said, oh, I'm gonna quit my job. Oh, nice. Like they've been proud of me for it.
Yeah, that's cool.
But they've never told me anything negative. Like, are you sure about this? You shouldn't do that. That's a bad. They always trusted my judgment, which was fucking tight, dude. And still to this day. And even my wife, you know, Ash, she doesn't tell me shit. That's dude.
Huge, man. That's huge.
She'll tell me like I'll say like, oh dang, I wanted to get this whatever set of wheels. And she's like, oh, those are nice. You should get them this color. And I'm like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't ever tell me shit, dog.
Right.
Because that would bother me. You know, she knows how hard I work and she knows the sacrifices that I put up and the scrutiny that we fucking go through all the time.
It's a sacrifice.
Yeah. And you have this is the trade that you give. You give sacrifices and you get things monetary in return, right? You know, so I'm putting a lot more sacrifices out there than the normal person.
Yeah,
with just having thousands and thousands of dollars of inventory in stock.
Right.
Like what the fuck? Something happens and the stock market crashes a bolt or something. You know what the fuck am I gonna do? You know, I'm putting my balls out there, but it's just with that comes a lot of pressure, you know, and she understands that. She sees what I go through all the time. So if I want to buy a pair of shoes or something, or we want to go on a nice trip, it ain't no thing.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to fucking do it because we deserved it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And when I stop feeling like I deserve it, then there's something to reevaluate.
Yeah.
But I never feel bad about anything, man, because it's like, I always tell people too, man, you work hard for it. Fuck it. Do that shit. Fuck that bill or whatever. Like, It'll
be there next month.
It'll be there next month. Make that shit fucking happen. You don't know what's gonna happen. You know, you've never been to New York or something. Make that shit happen.
Yeah.
You could do this $1,000 trip. Think about how much money you spend. Evaluate your month. Think about how much money you spend on shit you don't need, which is, bless you.
Thank you.
Which is as minuscule as like overeating,
right,
to going out, to buying alcohol, to, you know, smoking or what have you. You know, all of those things are cool in moderation,
and they all add up.
So if you're saying a trip to New York is $1,000 and you spent $500 on junk a month, save up for you know 3 months or something like that, 6 months. Have those kind of goals. Why wouldn't you want to do some shit like that to expand your mind? Get an Airbnb, stay at a pad, like get a cheap ass car, dude. I'll break that shit down to you, bro. I'm telling you, flights, if you get them ahead of time, this is our trip to Japan. Let me tell you about this. Okay. So we got the tickets. The tickets are like $720, $730 at the max. Each. Max. It could be more. It could be like $680, something like that, around that, $50 or something like that. That's how much the tickets were, right? Hotel rooms are the same as they're here, like $130 for the hotel. So we get the hotel. The hotel is in walking distance, which is like a quarter mile, a fourth of a mile, 4/10 of a mile from the place in Tokyo, which is on a Tokyo Drift. You know, it's like the X crossing where they drift through. That's a really famous place
is it really?
in Tokyo. It's called Shibuya, and that's the crossing. So if you look that shit up, that's like a landmark.
Oh,
right
shit.
there. They have like a statue of this dog, and there's a story about the dog statue and shit. I
Really?
guess, he used to walk with the owner, and the owner would take the train to go to work, and the dog would just chill right there
and wait for the train.
Wait for him to come back, and he would come back and shit. And one day he never came, and he just posted up there forever, waiting for his owner to come home because the owner like died or some shit at work.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like in the spot right there. And okay, so you're talking let's just say $750.
Yeah.
We'll even be fucking give you leeway. $750 for the ticket. You're over there. You get the hotel room. So maybe $130 a night. So 5 nights. You know, you want to go for 5 days or even a week.
Yeah.
You know, a week. So 7. So whatever. Another $1,000.
Give or take.
$1,200. Yeah. on your hotel room. Travel, no problem. It's like a subway. If you need to take the train, it's like a fucking subway. That's all they use
over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there's people everywhere that know English, it's not fucking hard.
Right.
The exchange of currency is not hard at all. It's so simple. You know, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's like if something's $10, it says 1,000 yen.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, something looks like crazy, like, oh shit, this is $7,000 for a burger. But as you know,
a burger
for a fucking boiga.
Yeah. You're like, I'm never traveling to Japan.
I'm never going to
But
Japan.
then don't they have like at McDonald's? They got like tofu burgers over there and shit.
I don't know. I don't eat McDonald's either way, so I didn't go, dog. But okay, so you're there. So then you're eating, right? Food isn't that much more expensive than here. It's the same shit. If you go to an expensive restaurant, expect to pay expensive prices.
Yeah.
If you go to a regular restaurant, dude, it's regular fucking food, dude. You know?
Yep.
So
okay.
That's travel, like your flight, your hotel room, traveling around the city. Like you could walk in that area, you could spend a whole week there walking around and shit. You know?
There's just that much stuff.
To travel anywhere you gotta do, it's fucking easy, dude. Okay, so how's my phone gonna work? You have this little Wi-Fi box, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just got 2 of them, and it was like $130 for 7 days. So you have
nice.
Wi-Fi in your pocket. You put your phone on airplane mode, and you just have Wi-Fi. Every fucking where you go, you have Wi-Fi.
God damn.
Yeah. So you buy that shit. So what else? What other issues do you have?
Yeah.
You don't have no fucking issues. You don't. $2,000, $2,500 to spend a trip in Japan. Come on, dog. Why not? Why not?
I see that.
I tell people that I'm going to Japan, and they look at me like I seen a fucking ghost, dude. I'm like, come on, you could fucking do it.
My dream is to travel to China.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Because, you know, I'm big, like, with manufacturing, and, you know, I really want to see how that works. And so I really want to go, like, out to Shenzhen and all that, and really just kind of explore and see the history of, like, all the manufacturing that goes on there. And I want to spend, like, a decent amount of time out there, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of, like, you know, one of the things, one of my travel
Hell yeah.
things that I want to do. So,
and it's not a dream, dog. It's a goal. That's just going to happen,
Yeah.
bro. And I'm telling you, it's not that much. Ever since I've been traveling for work, it's like I realize it's not that crazy.
really.
If you're going to tell me back in the day that I was going to go to New York, I was fucking, oh my God. You know,
Yeah.
I went, my first time ever was in 2008. Me and my boy went.
Oh, really?
And that was when I first realized that, damn, this shit's like really doable.
That's interesting.
And good thing my boy that I went with, he was kind of good with logistics. So he planned out the whole shit, and he
Nice.
just told me what ticket to buy or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You know, those are the best people.
I know somebody like that. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I'm like, they're good. Like, you're like, hey, you know, how do you do this? You just, you know, take this, buy this, and, you know, just do this when you get there. And they're the one like creating the itinerary, like when you're going on a trip and stuff. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
They're awesome, dude.
But you got to have those kind of friends around you. Don't have those Vegas friends around you, because Vegas is not a vacation resort, and it's not the only vacation resort.
Oh man,
Vegas is fucking tight. Don't get me wrong.
it's too tight. I think it's a problem.
But that's like the Oxnard vacation spot.
Yeah, well, because it's so close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so close. Like, you can get, you know, really cheap plane tickets, things like that.
Doing a trip to Vegas is not that much different than doing a trip to New York.
Really?
New York is even cheaper, dude.
Vegas. So I went to Vegas in January for my bachelor's party, and it's crazy how expensive it is. Like, it's just
Dough all day.
that's all it is.
All day dropping dough.
That's all you're doing. Like, everywhere you walk, no matter like what you're doing, like you're spending money.
Mm-hmm.
It's expensive, man.
Vegas is the city that will hustle the fuck out of you. If
Every
you don't
time.
know, if you're not a hustler and you don't see those signs and you're a gullible person, you're getting fucked.
Oh, yeah.
In Vegas.
Yeah.
Anytime you go, you're losing money.
Just the way people talk out there.
Yeah, dude. It's just I see them and they're like they're just slithering around. And I'm just like, this motherfucker, don't even talk to me.
It's a totally different vibe, man. Like, they're out to to just get your pockets, like, for
Yep.
sure.
You're talking about a dude from Ohio finally goes to Vegas his first time. He's walking in front of Planet Hollywood at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Sees this beautiful black goddess right there. I've seen it happen because I was with my boy. This is what they do. They came, hey, what's up, guys? Oh, what's up? Or even if the guy hollers, because I think my boy hollered. Mo. Well, me and Mo went to. I think
how you're telling the story. My boy,
you know him. Mo. So, he like hollered at the girl and she came, and like it was way too easy, and she was fire, so it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know? So you're talking the guy from Ohio comes and he's like, "Oh shit, it's this easy to get," and they go to the hotel room, but they get fucking robbed. Quick.
I have heard like really bad stories about that, man.
Quick.
Oh my God. Like, dude's just getting jacked.
It happens.
Like, man, that's sad. Like, that's so sad, man.
It's very sad.
Like, these people, I mean, you're getting a, hook or whatever, you take the risk, but
yeah. And most people think that it's legal. So, if something's legal, they think it's safe.
Yeah.
And that shit is not safe.
Well, I guess they're kind of, entrepreneurs too in their own right?
Depends. It all depends on how you feel as a person, your integrity level.
Yeah.
If you don't have any integrity,
it don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
you can
matter.
do whatever the fuck you want to do.
I agree. And I agree with, so, kind of going back to, the family supporting it and stuff like that, right? It's, with my family, their support, my wife, she don't even ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tell her I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. I told her, because I was like, I have like too many credit cards. I need to get this credit card. Can you apply for it for me? Yeah. Boom. And what that did for my business is what it did for my business is it allowed me to almost triple my sales.
No way.
Just by getting that one credit card.
Wow.
Because, so without going like too far into detail, right? That credit card is a 5% cashback credit card.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So then it's hooked up to like an auto ordering system that I have. So every time somebody places an order, it gets automatically ordered, right? Well, what that does is it goes to an online cashback site, which is like an Ebates, basically. So then you add another like 2 to 3% on top of that.
Yeah.
So what it allowed me to do was drop my margins on the front end so I can gain more sales, and then I'm making my profit on the back end.
Damn.
But I couldn't do it without that. So long story short, blah, blah, blah. Like, she didn't even ask any questions, right? Her parents are a little more, they're a little more old school, right? But they're really, really supportive, like really supportive. Whereas my dad, my dad's a construction worker for the past 25 years.
Yeah.
Right. That's all he's ever basically known. And so when he sees me like doing all these different ventures and doing this and doing that, he's like, dude, why don't you, like get into the union, or, why don't you, do this, or why don't you do that? And I'm like, Dad, that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, but then you can, start saving for retirement, and,
yeah.
And I absolutely understand where he's coming from, right? Like,
definitely.
He's a family man. I have a family. Like, he wants me to be able to, take care and provide. And so me being without, a 9-to-5 job right now, like, I know it really scares him.
Yeah.
So he, we were over there for Christmas, and he's like, oh, see, he's like, you just need to get you just need to suck it up and, get a job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's like, he had said like, oh, why don't you like be a firefighter? I was like, Dad, does it look like my out of shape ass could be a firefighter? Like, it's not happening.
Damn.
You know what I mean? But, he's like, why don't you, go do this and go do that? And, I understand where his intentions are coming from.
Yeah.
But he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard for me to fight with him right now, because I'm not making a ton of money.
Yeah.
Right. But then once I start making a ton of money, for him, it's going to be like, oh, okay, it's okay now.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, no, like this is, so he had made the comment like, oh, you're going to have to get rid of the get rich, quick scheme.
Yeah.
Gig. And I'm like, what part of it is like quick? Like I've been doing it for like 6 months now, like just with this one, and it still hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, and how about for the past like 5-6 years I've been doing it? Like what part of this is a get rich quick scheme? Like where, where does that?
Yeah. He thinks it's wasted time.
Yeah, well, he just thinks, right, like, with the whole, online business, like he just thinks I'm trying to make like $1 million overnight. And he thinks that by me doing what I'm doing, I'm basically like wasting time, I'm wasting money, I'm doing this, right? Where it's like, well, no, Dad, like my business, is about to do 20,000 in revenue this year. Like, yeah, from a profitable standpoint, like I'm not where I want to be, but it's growing to that. You know what I mean? Like you look at my sales from the past months and it's up 90%, and so, but he doesn't understand like that context.
Yeah.
Right. He just understands like, hey, like if you go to work every day, like you'll get paid, like, this and that. And it's hard for me too, because, financially it's rough right now, man, not having it. Luckily, my wife just, started working and things like that, but we find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And yes, it is a struggle. And yes, we have my daughter, so that needs to come first. But, right now we're making it work. And that goes back to just having that support of my wife, right? Like, cause you think about that and it's like any other, wife who's not like, Maddie or who's not like Ashley, they're probably not going to tolerate that for very long.
Yeah, you'll get the threats.
And then you can no longer be yourself. Mm-hmm. You can't do the things that make you happy, so then you're resentful. And so like that's a really big part of it, is just having that support, right, to do what it is that you do. So it's different for everyone, but I feel like it's just a different, way of thinking, right? And it's a generation gap too with our parents. They're older. They grew up differently.
Yeah, definitely. So before we dive into that, we're going to take a quick break for our sponsors.
Yo, what's up, fool? Make sure you check out Downstar for all of your dress-up needs. Get it poppin' over here. We have all the kits for the K-Series, the B-Series, the transmission, the mounts, the engine, the Toro, baby. We have the hardware for the seats, for the stereo. We got it for the speakers. We got it for the lug nuts. We got it for the air valves. We got it for everything, dog. So you make sure you hit us up at downstarinc.com or you call us up, fool. You can even text us, lame, 818-937-3472. Just shoot us a text and tell us what's up, dog. I need some fucking balls in this bitch. Hit us up, downstaring.com. Hey, and if you got an Instagram, slide in our fucking DM at Downstar. Wait, hit up the homie, Frank_Downstar. He's the one that takes care of all the DMs. Hit that level up and shoot him a message and he'll get you all taken care of real nicely.
It's something I didn't have to experience.
Yeah.
If I did experience it, it was probably from quote unquote friends.
Right.
Or ex-girlfriends or something like that,
Luckily my friends have never said anything. Like my friends have always thought it's like cool as shit. Like that I do the no drop and that I've like done this and done that. They're just not into it. You know what I'm saying? But they think it's like dope as shit that like I'm doing all this stuff, and so that's always been cool. But yeah, having a support system when being an entrepreneur, running your own business is pretty important.
Yeah, I think one skill that entrepreneur has is they become their own support system.
Yep.
So no matter if anybody's with them, it's still got to happen.
Yeah.
This is what's got to be done.
Because it's what you feel, right? And it's like, for me, like, I'm not really, like, there was one time where I kind of got up and, like, I told my dad, like, in a in a joking like manner, but I was like yelling in his face, like, when will you get through your head? Like, I'm not going to, do what you want me to do, but like laughing about it. And he's like, well, you really should think about it. And it's just a different mindset.
Yeah.
But for me, that's okay, right? I don't go home and say like, oh man, like, man, my dad, said I should probably do this, so like maybe I will. It's like, no, it's like I appreciate your opinion, but it's not gonna determine
we're all
what
our
I do.
own person.
Yeah,
and yeah, even if you're listening right now, whatever you do, like, you should do whatever the fuck you feel you want to do.
absolutely, man.
Don't do that shit for anybody else. Don't just go to work for somebody just because it's good money for now, or like, fuck all that shit, dude. You're wasting your time.
That's and that's something that you learn too, is like when you start making that money, but then you're still fucking miserable from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yeah.
every fucking day of the week. Then you're like, oh shit. Then you're like, oh, I need to get another job and make more money. Like, no, you just,
and then the same shit,
the same exact thing.
You go through the same problem.
So people need to stop looking at their future as a monetary goal and find out what it is that they love to do, or they don't even have to love it. Just like what do you enjoy doing, right? Like what just makes you just happy, right? And find something that's related to that. But because of the society that we live in, it's not about that. It's about keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
It's about buying the new Maxima, right? Now everybody's driving Audis. Like, how the fuck do you afford an Audi? You know what I mean? When you're making $20 an hour, it's just like, but that's just the way people think.
I don't know, man. You could show them the way, but it's on themselves.
Yeah. Ultimately,
figure it out, and it is frustrating. And I don't like to listen to people complain. It really bothers me, especially people that I know that I've given them good advice that would help them in that situation, and they choose not to use it or to make any changes at all.
Right.
I can't entertain that at all anymore. There's nobody in my life that's like that,
That's good, and then that's hard to do.
Yeah, very hard.
Right, because I think that we all need to really cut those types of people out. But it's a hard thing to do, but there's reasons why it's important, to do that. You need to surround yourself around people who are going to allow you to grow.
Yeah, dude. And I don't want anybody around me that's going to second guess me or think about if something I say or something I do is wrong. Like, I don't need you, bro.
Right.
Like, I built this shit on my own. Like, I drew the logo with the pen and paper. Like, I did this shit by myself. I don't need you to tell me about anything. You could give me your opinion. I'll appreciate that enough.
Yeah.
But you don't know better than I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just, I had some friends that were like that would just try to tell me like that the way that I was doing stuff wasn't right, but like I was doing better than them.
Yeah.
In our respective fields.
Right.
I'm like, dude, the reason that you don't see what I'm saying is because you don't see things how I see things.
Right, yeah.
So there's no way that you're ever going to get what I mean.
And that's
because
okay.
you don't, and it's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do me because I know my intentions are pure. I'm not saying I don't want people around me that are going to tell me stuff.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to bring something to the table.
Right.
Don't ever take relationship advice from your single friend who's never had a successful relationship.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Absolutely. And that's always, I was just going to say, like when somebody's trying to give advice, it's like always look at the person who's giving the advice. You know what I mean? What is the car community like when it comes to that? I mean, do you feel like every industry is different, right? Every community has their say, but I mean, do you feel like for the most part the car community is they come together, or do you feel like there is a lot of competition?
Oh hell yeah,
built
dude!
Around
there's so much competition, and there's so much I don't even want to say female characteristics,
Yeah.
but no disrespect to females,
Right,
because
right.
some of these dudes are embarrassing,
Yeah.
even to my wife. Like, surprising that grown men would do certain things,
Right,
and it's
right.
just like, it's weird. But I guess it's just like any other community. I haven't really been this deep into any other hobby,
Yeah.
as I am with cars, with the Honda community, with like business owning and all that stuff. This is my first time ever doing something like this, so it could be that the deeper that you get into
Maybe
a
it's
certain
like that
field,
everywhere.
it could be like that
Yeah.
everywhere, but of course it's easier to see the bad than the good. But we have so much fucking good.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
It's like overfilling, and I know it's because people respect what we do, because it's an honorable thing.
Yeah.
Downstar is an honorable company, and it's so easy to see that.
Right.
It's so easy to see that we just do whatever the fuck we want to do.
Yeah.
And we used to be you. We used to work the 9 to 5.
Right.
And we knew that we would love to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to fucking do some rad shit.
Yeah.
So if you can't do some rad shit, I'm going to do some rad shit, and I'm going to tell you, like, yo, I was where the fuck you were. This is what I did after that, and hopefully you get to this position too.
Right. And I think, that's that's always something that's motivating for me, is I've known you since I'm 15. You're 18, 19. Like, we've known each other since we're kids, right? So it's like, where I come from, I know where you come from, and so to see like the success, right, that you've built over the past 10 years, it's like, fuck, man, like if he could do it,
Hell
right?
yeah.
Like I could do it, and
we weren't far behind each other.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not about, necessarily, right? There's some circumstances, but it's not necessarily like, where you come from, or, it's what strength can you find from within to live out your passion?
Yeah.
And that's hard, man. The more that here's the fucking weird thing, right? Like, sometimes I think to myself, like, why the fuck am I doing this? Like, why? Because, like, sometimes, like, I'm not making any money, or I'm losing money, or I'm this, or I'm that. But then I'm like, there's no other thing that I want to do. Like, there's nothing that I feel this passionate about fucking up about. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna feel okay fucking up about something else, right? Like a job or whatever. With this, like, I'm okay that I keep failing and failing and failing because I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's like skateboarding.
Yeah, and so it's like the more that my business grows, I'm like, fuck, this is hard, right? Fuck, this is taking a lot of time. That's what it takes, right? Deep down, you're like, okay, well, this is what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it looks like to live out your passion. And, to continue to do that, man, is hard. Day in and day out.
It's a lifestyle change.
That's a good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it. It is.
It's just like, people that go to the gym, that's a lifestyle. It's not a get rich quick thing. It's not a get fit fast.
Right.
None of that shit. None of that shit works, Most of it's your fucking diet. And what is your diet? Your diet is what you choose.
Yeah.
It's what you choose. And you make those choices because of your strengths or lack thereof.
Yeah.
That's
a good point.
And if you don't have the strength to make those changes, you're going to be that beta person.
Right.
And, no disrespect to you, but there's levels. There's different levels to everything.
Yeah.
And if you haven't put in that work, you don't deserve to be at that level.
Right.
You have to, you have to realize the work that you're putting in is what you deserve.
Yeah.
Is the life that you deserve.
100%.
Now, some people, they work really hard. Maybe they've been working hard for the last 10 years and they're doing cool, but they're not doing as good as somebody else. That doesn't that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not doing good. It just means that there's probably other opportunities that they're passing up. So it's all, you
Yeah.
have to always fine tune yourself. Maybe you've been passing up on those big deals. You know how it is. If you need to buy something, you say, okay, if you buy 500, it's this much, but if you buy 1,000, it's this much.
Yeah.
If you buy 2,000, it's this much. If you had that much faith in yourself to sell 2,000 of them, or if you could sell big chunks to stores or whatever.
Right.
If you take that risk, you're going to make way more profit, and you're going to go. You're going to keep going up. But of course, comes with a lot more risk, and it's a lot more work. But it depends on what you want to take, that load that you want to take, and that quality of life you want to live. So all these people that are talking down on other people because maybe they're showing off their car or something like that. You don't understand the work that it took to get to that point. Yeah. And even if this person gets money from their parents or something like that, that's their parents trying their hardest to give them a life, and that's how they're choosing to live it. It's like everybody's trying to figure this shit out, man.
Every day
We're trying to figure. Every day everybody's trying to figure it out. Every fucking day.
It's crazy. We were just driving to my dad's house, and my grandma, she was looking at a billboard. And it was like, single family homes for starting at the mid 500s. Yeah. And she was like, how is that even possible? So she's seen, right? She's older, right? So she's seen the evolution of these things. And for her to kind of think a
$13,000 house back then.
Yeah, and she's sitting here thinking how do people survive? Yeah. And it's hard, man. Then you add kids, then you add a marriage, then you add, just so much, just life, man. Life
comes at you, and that's why I always try to prepare myself at a young age for a rough life, for a life that was going to be full of challenges and not an easy slacker life, because that wasn't the life that I wanted to live. Yeah. I made that decision young in my life that I was going to make good decisions, and I was going to be on that path because hopefully one day my life would be rad. I never imagined it to be like this. The only thing I ever thought, I didn't ever picture anything. I just thought man, I hope one day I'm rich, or Right. But that's such a naive thing to even wish for. Yeah. Because there's people that are way more wealthy than I am, and they are so much worse off than I am. Emotionally, friends fucking hate them. Absolutely. People in their community hate them. They're making money, but how much does that really mean to you? What does that really mean to you?
What does success mean to you? You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's important, right? Everybody's, just kind of looking for the shiny object. Everybody's looking, for that get rich quick scheme. When people just need to understand, unless you're playing and winning the lottery, it's not gonna happen, man.
Even that's not gonna work because you're not built to have that money. The only people that should have $200 million are people who are built to be able to earn $200 million.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've never thought about that.
Because they're not responsible enough.
Yeah, because you don't just somebody who has $200 million. Imagine what it took, right, to get that $200 million, as opposed to winning the lottery, and then you're like, oh,
hell yeah,
shit.
Dude.
I couldn't imagine,
dude. If I won the lotto, I wouldn't uproot my life at all. I wouldn't. I would probably hire family members to work at Downstar.
Friends and
family members. Yeah. Make it a huge ass factory, bigger, more machines and shit like that.
Start manufacturing.
Yeah, and it would be like Fantasy Factory. Something like that. Yeah. Because I know how much raw materials, and I know how much warehouse space. Right. I know how marketing works. It would just be a fun thing that we would all do. Yeah. And then we would just live a non-stressful life. That's it.
That's the dream, right?
That's all that would buy me is a life without stress. That's all I could ever ask for.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, right? because I've seen like your group of friends change.
Yeah.
Just as you get older, as you know, you become more involved in the car community, you start hanging out more with those types of people, right?
Yeah.
Different groups, everything like that. A lot of people say that your circle gets smaller as you get older. For me, I've worked on making my circle bigger with the right people. And I don't know, you know, if that's got to do with me, you know, growing up, you know, with this kind of like lack of family. So I want to have those people, you know, around me, but I know they're always going to be the right people. Like, how do you feel about that as you start getting older, as you start hanging out with different types of people, as opposed to the people that you grew up with?
Well, even growing up, I really didn't have that many friends, you know.
Okay.
I didn't have any best friends or close friends or anything like that. It would just be people that I would probably just hang out with at school, if anything. I was just close to my cousins and such.
Okay.
But after high school, like, we just kind of went our own ways.
Yeah.
You know, we went through the car shit early, and then started going out clubbing, and then I would link up with some cousins here and there, but I was living my own life.
Right.
So say from about those times to now, most of those people I don't speak to at all anymore, or I'll speak to them just like I speak to anybody else. Like, what if I ever need something from them? Like, hey, dude, what's up, man? Or remember this? Oh yeah, that was cool. Oh, cool. How you been? All good.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has those kind of friends, and I have a lot of those kind of friends too. But as far as somebody that I would consider like a close friend, close to me is bringing them to my home and having them around my family. That's close to me. And if you get that close and you do anything that's suspect, you're out quick. You're out quick.
Because it takes a lot to get there.
It takes a lot to get there.
Yeah.
You know, and if you've gotten to this point and you know I wouldn't rock with something like that, and you would do that, like, quick.
Right.
Out. And lately it's been ramped up even more. You know, I don't put up with any bullshit anymore, dog, because I know the energy that I bring, and I know how I treat my people. And when I get disrespected in any way, dude, you're done. I'm gone. You know, I'm living on fucking 100 miles an hour, dude. And you want to do some stupid shit like, fuck you, dog. I don't
got time.
You know, I'll pray for you, bro. I hope you have a great life, but this is just like Fast and Furious 7 where they just split off.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going this way. I hope you don't have the same fate that P-Dub, rest in peace, had. You know, I'm going Vin Diesel's way.
Yeah.
I'm going that way. Where the fuck are you gonna go? I don't know. Maybe in the future, our paths will pass.
Right.
Some way. You know, maybe I'll stop at the gas station and you're working there or whatever. You know, we'll talk about old times. But no, I'm just kidding. But fuck all that, dog. You know, you should only have people around you that fuck with you, dog.
Yeah.
No matter if they talk shit to you or not, like, no matter just whatever quirk they have, it has to, their love and devotion to you has to outweigh that.
Yeah. And that's really that's really specific, but a really good point, because it's like that too, dude. Like, I got like some friends like who have this or who have that, but I don't give a fuck. Because they love me, right?
Yeah.
They love my wife. They love my daughter. It's like, dude, I don't give a fuck who you are, like, you know, what stupid shit, you know, to a certain extent, right? But like you said, if your intentions are good, you know, towards me and my family, like, that's all I care about, man. Like, be your stupid self. I'm stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I act dumb. I have quirks. So it's like, I've just come to a point in my life to where it's like, who am I to judge you?
Yeah.
Like, I'm nobody to judge you. Like, you've lived your life, right? Like, there's things that you're probably doing better than I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, and vice versa. So it's like, who is anyone really to judge? Like, somebody else. And your journey isn't somebody else's journey.
Yeah.
And you can't speak for that. Like, you can't have an opinion on somebody like that when that's not your journey.
If they're not asking you for it, don't give them any opinions. Yeah. Like, I have people ask me all the time. Like, earlier today, I posted a picture of my engine bay, and someone asked me, like, why didn't you color match the engine bay? Because the engine bay is gray and the car's black. And I'm just like, I don't know what answer to give you besides personal preference. Like, what do you mean? Like, why did you wear that outfit today, dog? That's not the outfit I wanted to see you in today, Roach. Why did you wear that? Are you serious? It's like, who are you? You know, and no disrespect to your pops, but your pops has to know that your life that you're living is way different than his.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's no disrespect to anybody.
Right.
Everybody has their own past.
Yeah.
And you know, people even want to say stuff about like the gay and trans community. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck who anybody else is with. That has nothing to do with me. Yeah, that's their life. You know? Oh, this is Trump is doing this. Like, dog, what are you gonna do anyway? You can't do shit. So either you're gonna bitch for 4 years, or you're gonna be an activist and be part and at least feel part of the movement. If you're that passionate about it,
then do something.
About it. But if you're not, like, you know, maybe you can have your little talk at the water cooler or something like that to feel important. But your opinion doesn't
get it off your chest.
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares about your opinion, and if you can't even run your own life, like why would you even give somebody the opinion on running a country? Yeah. Are you serious? Like, I don't care either fucking way, because it has nothing to do with me.
That's always been like my stance. It's like I don't appreciate what he's bringing in as part of, you know, the racism and like all that stupid shit, but like what he does, like his decisions, like to run the country, isn't going to affect really the way I run my life.
And let me take it a step further. Obama didn't do nothing for my life. If there was no president tomorrow, I'm going to have to deal with whatever situation that I have at hand, because the cards are going to change for everybody. Yeah. Cards will change for everybody, and best fucking believe that I'm ready to handle these changes.
And that's the thing, right? It's not like, oh, Trump becomes president and then only these people have to deal with it, and only no, everybody has to deal with it, man. Like it's not. People just want to make excuses as to why they can't do shit.
Yeah, but that's why they're where they're at. Mm-hmm. And I've always said, dude, if you see somebody and they're always complaining, they're not their best self they can be. You can't tell me to my face somebody that complains all the time is the best person that they can be. They're not. They're not, because I've been at that position. I've been at that place where I've seen somebody doing good and I wanted to find something bad about them to point that out, to make me feel better. And that's why I know that we get a lot of hate, because people see the same thing in me. They see me out there in the life that I'm living, and they're just like, what the fuck? Fuck that dude, you know? Because they think that they're better than me, because whether they're taller than me, you know, their car's faster than me or whatever, like, that's tight, dog. That has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
This is my life. Like, do what the fuck you're gonna do, dog. That has nothing to do with me. But don't tell me nothing.
Right.
And one of the best things that this is what I'll consider success is nobody tells me shit.
Yeah.
No family members, no anybody at all. No one tells me nothing. No friends, no nothing. And that's fucking freedom to me. I don't have anybody telling me some shit, you know. And it took work to get it to that point, but you have to trim the fat, man.
Yeah,
you have to. And if you end up with nothing, you end up with a small portion. At least you're gonna be eating good, you know, by yourself and not with some fake people around.
So, do you feel like, you know, once you, like, number one, when did you realize that you had to, you know, trim the fat, and number two, like, what effect do you feel like that had? Not only on your life, but on your business as a whole.
I think it's all started when I met Ash. When I met Ash, we started our life together.
Gotcha.
So my life, what it was in this universe, curved.
Yeah.
And it met with her.
Okay.
And we met and we made one.
Yeah. So
I didn't lose, but I just wasn't hanging around with the same people anymore, because I wasn't about that life anymore.
Right.
But let's get it clear, guys. The only reason to go to clubs is to go find broads, you know? And if you got a girl, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
It's not that cool, you know? Your early 20s, like, bust that shit out. But after a while, I'm like, this ain't even that cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Unless you're single.
Yeah, unless you're single. So it started with that, and then if you always have a strong woman on your side, you have an upper hand because she tells you what's real.
Yeah.
No matter if you want to hear it or not.
Right.
And she was able to point that out about some people that I considered good friends. And sure enough, that shit did end up coming true. You know, they ended up betraying me or disrespecting me or not being the person that I thought that they were.
Right.
And either way, any of those things is a call for expulsion.
Yeah.
You know? So
Expulsion.
you know, you have to think about this.
Zero tolerance.
The dog is zero tolerance, bro. You know, I don't care if it's a nail clipper, motherfucker. That shit has a blade on the inside. You're going to jail.
Oh, shit.
Guantanamo. But, you know, and then the more shit that I went through and the more people that I saw that didn't have my back, that like made little sneak jokes, you know, I would see jokes somewhere and I'm like, you know, this is really real right now, right, Doug? You know my wife, you know my son, right? You know I have a fucking business, right?
Yeah.
You know what it fucking really is, but you want, okay, cool, Doug, that's where it is.
Right.
Now, I even posted about it earlier today. Like, if you don't fuck with me anymore, that's cool. But next time I see you, just know not to come in with the half hug, fucking pat on the back. I'm gonna give you the straight handshake and the grab the elbow, and that's all you get, dog.
Yeah.
You know, don't pull that shit around. And that's what it's come to that point right now. That even in the last 6 months, it trimmed even more.
Really?
And it's just people that. This is my life. This is the life I want to live, and these are the principles that I live by. And if you don't fall by those principles, you're not going to be considered that type of friend.
Yeah.
At one time, me and you were really, really close.
Right.
And if there was something that you would have done that I would have seen that was like, what the fuck? Why did you do? Like, if we went to a party together and I just looked and you dipped. And you just I'm like, what the fuck? I wouldn't kick it with you no more. Right. Because that was my principle. I would never do that to somebody unless somebody knew, like, hey, I'm going to dip.
I'm dipping.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Figure your shit. That's the person that I am.
Yeah.
So right now, even if there's somebody that did that shit to me, I'm like, okay, now you're in another category.
Yeah. Because
I wouldn't hate you forever, but it would just be like, yeah, I'm not going to hit you up when I'm going to kick it.
Right.
Because I only have so much free time.
Yeah.
And there's only a certain amount of people that I hit up. And if I don't hit you up anymore, like, it is what it is.
Right.
And what people don't realize, dude, is I was raised a different way than a lot of people, geographically speaking.
Yeah.
You know, if you're around raised where I was from, like you are, it's just natural.
Right.
It's just natural how I live and how I conduct myself with honor and respect.
Yeah.
It's just normal. It's like, if you want to say like a 805 thing, a Mexican thing, you know, a SoCal thing, a California thing, whatever. However geographically you want to break it down.
It's just that pride.
Yeah, it's just that pride in yourself, and you never want to get disrespected, but you don't disrespect anybody else unless you're ready for those kind of problems. You know what I mean? And it's just, I know that my time is very valuable because that time I could be spending it with my family. So if it's not going to be with my family, it's going to be for not a better reason, because there's not going to be a better reason, but another reason that's going to be a good time.
Yeah. Okay.
So if we're going to spend time together,
the quality time,
it has to be quality time. Yeah. And with other friends, you know, nothing really even crazy significant happened, but it was just like, kind of like, enough is enough.
Yeah.
I don't want to kick it with you no more. You know, you bring terrible energy around. Like, I don't wish bad on you. Right. I don't want to scrap you. If I see you, let's just do the mutual respect of not seeing each other. Yeah. And it's all good. Yeah. You know, you live your life, I live mine. I don't regret memories that we share together, because at that point in our lives, that's what the fuck we were on. Right. But right now I'm on some different shit, dog. And if you're not on the fucking train with us, dog, you're getting left behind, because this is what we're doing. Yeah. I feel you. I'm good with it. My wife's good with it. My son's good with it. My family, my parents are good with it. If you're not any of those people, you're secondary. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And I know that my intentions are pure, and they all know my intentions are pure, and whatever we're doing is fucking working. So I'm gonna keep doing that.
That's good, man. I mean, and I think as long as like, you know, you stay true to that, and you know that's what you're gonna keep doing. Like that's all you can do, right? And who cares
Yeah.
about like what anyone thinks? So that's good, man.
There's nothing that can do anything to it besides if I ruined it.
Right.
I'm the only one that can ruin it. And that was one thing that I came to a realization to the last few years is we've gone through a lot of problems, you know, with other companies or whatever, online beefs or whatever, and none of that has ever affected sales ever. So whatever we're doing, good, bad, whatever your opinion is, it's working because the machine is growing.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're growing
going.
an inch or a mile, it doesn't matter. If you grow from this revenue to that revenue in 1 year, when you could have went sky high,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. You're still going forward.
That's true.
This is a marathon. It's not a fucking race.
I have to remind myself of that sometimes too.
If you're on mile 16 out of 30, you know?
Yeah.
30 being like 100 years old,
Right.
you could chill for a quarter mile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just like jog it out, dude. Like, yeah, I could be making crazy amounts of money, but then the only way to get more money is with more time. You have to invest more time into something, right?
Yeah.
Or into the right ways. And I could get lucky with something, invest over here, and it could blow up or whatever, but I'm not willing to give up any more of my time at this moment because I feel like I already give up too much.
You need
know?
to hire some virtual assistants.
Something, dog. Right now, I don't feel like we have any issues. I just feel like we're on the river and we're just chucking along, bro. We're having a sandwich. We're just chucking along. You know, we just hit the rapids of Black Friday.
Yeah.
It's a nice sunny day, you know? We're just trucking along, dude, and getting ready for a nice year.
So talk to me about that. Like, how, you know, what is, you know, you don't have to get too much into like, profit and things like that. But like, I mean, what does sales look like this year compared to last year? Like, what is a business like yours doing, just to kind of give people perspective?
Well, the biggest perspective I can give is, if you've done anything with online sales, you have a PayPal.
Yeah.
Right? So PayPal is where the majority of our sales are done.
Okay.
And that will break it down in a graph. And from January 1st till now, we are 30% bigger than we were last year.
Wow. That's
30%,
really good.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
And if there's any way to judge growth, I mean, that's the most raw way that you can. Numbers and all that, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's still 30%
year over
growth.
year. Yeah. That's awesome. That's really good. And I think that was one of the, when I talked to you a few months, well, this was probably 6 months or more back, that was one of your fears, you know, was like you were scared that, you know, this year wasn't going to match next year, right? And your goal is to always have every month beat the prior year month. And, you know, you were kind of scared.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it was almost like a, you know, kind of like a light bulb that went off for you. And it sounds like you started turning things back around.
Yeah. Sometimes changes happen and you just have to adapt to them. It's just like when you're driving down the road and you're on your GPS and it said you can save this much by going this way.
Yeah.
You can try that and maybe that'll work out. Maybe you'll save time, but maybe you won't.
Get lost.
You never know. So when things happen, you just have to hope that there's brighter lights at the end of the tunnel. And I mean, we just got to make shit happen. That's pretty much what I live by, is just make shit happen. And the things that I did to make shit happen made shit happen a lot better than it did last year.
Really?
Yeah, dude. In the last 6 months, the growth of the company has been insane.
So talk to me about, like, without getting into detail, like, what are some things that you changed in the business? Like, what are some things you did differently this year than last year?
The employees,
okay,
company that we kept, investing more in larger quantities,
Okay.
and taking more risk. That's what's changed.
Scared money don't make money.
That's it, dog. All that stuff, you know, and all those things, one of those things could break somebody.
I'm telling you, man, I've seen how much inventory
Yeah.
that you carry, and that's scary, man. That's scary.
Yeah.
You know?
I never try to think about it like that, but literally it is.
In reality, right? I mean, it's not like you're, covering blocks or anything like that of inventory, but I mean, I was scared when I, had like $2,000 worth of inventory.
Yeah.
'Cause that's money. That's money.
That's literal money. Instead of being in the bank, it's just sitting there.
That's sitting there, and it's until you sell it, like you're sitting on that money. And so that's pretty cool, man. I mean, to see that you've grown, to that you've grown to that, man. And just to kind of see what your plans are for it. But
it's dope, man. It doesn't scare me. Nothing scares me. I think the only thing that would scare me, like I just locked in another deal with another company that we did some small transactions with before, and the last transaction was a lot larger, and then this one was even larger. And that's the kind of stuff that scares me, is doing those large transactions and hoping that everything comes out how you need it to come out.
Right.
And when that happens, that's the plug.
Yeah.
And you have to have the plug for everything.
Right.
Everything that we do, I have to have the best plug for that will be able to make this keep running, keep the machine running. So whenever any of those plugs, something happens, then that throws the machine off.
That sucks.
Yeah, and I take on a lot of weight, man, but it's just I'm used to it,
Yeah.
It's cool.
I really want the car community, because this is for your podcast too, obviously.
Yeah.
But the car community sees you from that angle, right? For me, I'm an outsider. I don't necessarily like cars, or I'm not into it, don't know about them, right? But I see the interaction between you and the community and your customers. And for those of you guys listening, I just want you to, really, I know you guys see a lot of the dedication online, but to see the cogs and the way that these wheels are moving behind the scenes at Downstar is really the most important thing, because without that, you guys aren't getting a quality product.
Yeah.
You guys aren't getting the genuine quality, that you're expecting from Downstar. And so I just want people to really appreciate that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I remember like when you were showing like the CNC and stuff like that, right? When you were just starting, you only had maybe like 20 SKUs or whatever, right? But to see it now and how much more fucking work it takes to do that. Are you designing all these pieces yourself? Does somebody design them? Do you draw them? Like how does that concept even come up?
Well, depending on what it is. So say I was doing a t-shirt. So let's just say a t-shirt, right? If you look on our website, we have maybe 20, 25 different designs. Okay, so I would just draw a picture. I draw a picture. I'll take a picture of it. I'll put it on my computer. I'll put it on Photoshop. I'll be able to edit like the contrast and shit to kind of get rid of the lines.
Kind of vectorize it.
Vectorize it, and then I start messing with the lines and cleaning it up and making it look like this and doing this and do this and the colors. I'm like, all right, this is it. So this is where you have your fucking plugs, right? Yep. And good thing that my plugs, they're like passionate dudes too. It's not like Sally who works 9 to 5 and you have to email her. Yeah. These are mostly like homies. So I text him like, yo, check this design out. And he's like, oh, that shit's dope. I'm like, oh, can we do this many? Okay, cool. And that's it. And then I just hit him up and he's like, yeah, the shirts are ready. Go pick up the shirts and they're ready to go. Pay him, pack them up, put them on the website, take some pictures, edit them real quick, put them on the website, and that's it. That's how it would go from creation to seeing somebody wearing that t-shirt at a car show.
Which is, I mean, like you describe it, right? And you're like, oh, that's it. But really, like it's not just like a 5-minute shoot around on Photoshop, right?
Yeah.
You got to call, you got to put the orders through, you got to package everything, put barcodes on it, create a SKU, right? Like, so there's all that stuff that really goes on behind the scenes to make that finished product.
Yeah.
So what about the, like, let's just say like nuts and bolts. Like, do you design some of those in-house?
No, the nuts and bolts, those are from a supplier.
They're from a supplier.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you just put the Downstar logo on them.
No. The bolts don't have the Downstar logo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see.
So a lot of these bolts are very hard to find because of like the thread pitch that they are, the material that they are, the lengths that they are.
Okay.
Because this wasn't offered in a Honda. It wasn't a stock thing, you know.
Gotcha.
So I basically made the kits work with all the hardware for the Hondas. And it started Hondas, but it spread out, you know.
So you are doing more than just Honda now?
Yeah. We have a lot.
So what different, because I didn't know that. I thought you were still
we have
doing...
a kit for a Jeep. So
really?
On the exterior of the Jeep, like the Wranglers, how it has like all the hardware on the doors and shit.
Yeah.
I just posted a picture. Where's my phone? I'll grab it. But we have an external Jeep kit. I mean, all of this stuff, it just takes marketing, as you know.
Yeah.
To make it.
But then to find out the specs of each vehicle, right?
Yeah, I mean, even that works out too. You gotta check that out.
Oh man,
looks cool, huh?
Yeah, so I'm looking at this picture right now, and obviously, you know, Jeeps have a bunch of like, you know, a lot of the stuff comes off, so there's a bunch of, you know, rivets and things like that. So what he's done is he's actually created more of like a
we call it a beauty washer.
A beauty washer?
Yeah.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
That's a good name for it. And so it just looks a lot more aesthetically pleasing. Like so when it comes to this, right? Like let's say you have a white Jeep, well, you can get, you know, purple bolts or pink bolts or yellow bolts or whatever color you want, so that way it all matches.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I didn't know you were doing different makes now.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Even my BMW, I have a BMW
really
kit. You know, Subarus, even some stuff for the GTR. Like we have a lot of shit, dude. It's just I'm sorry, what was your question?
No, just you were just talking about we were just talking about you doing the different models now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sorry, dude. But it's dope though, dude. It's just everything that goes through Downstar, every product that we create, I create them all. I create the designs, I make the kits, I do all that stuff.
That's special, man. Like that really, really
Thank
is.
you, dog.
You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's bolts. I don't care if it's pencil sharpeners. Like, if you're doing everything that you're doing with like any product, I feel like that is your differentiator.
Yeah.
Right? That's what makes you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about the nuts and bolts. Like, it doesn't matter who the other company is. Like, they're not me, and
right.
I'm not them. I'm me. This is what I do. This is my lane. You know, if we're at the swap meet, this is my Mexican blanket with my shit on it. You want to buy some from me or buy it from somebody else?
Somebody's got the same exact blanket with stuff right across the street for right next door to you. You're like, that's okay. I'm still going to sell mine.
I'm still doing what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
None of that shit matters. You know, and most of the shit I do is just for fun. Like, I'll come up with new designs just because I'll like see a bolt and I'll be like, oh, that's a cool bolt. It would look good here. Let me do like a nice bolt. And even with the Jeep kits, one big thing for them is they're really like, they love their shit to be big and bright and just like
gaudy.
Yeah. So what I want to do is design some big ass washers, you know, some like really chunky ones.
Yeah.
And then design them for like the Jeeps and shit. Because when I went to the SEMA, which is like the main trade show for the automotive community, there was all kinds of those Jeeps, dude, and they have like fucking crazy shit. So if I design like really crazy washers, I think that they would dig them.
So you design it, right? Do you know how to do CAD? Do you do that? So you just basically come up with concept designs and then somebody else.
So I have my guys, like I can just draw a picture and be
Right.
like, yo, can you make something look like this? I could show them one design and like, yo, can you do it like this one?
Yeah.
But do this, do that, and then we'll make it happen.
That's cool. For those of you who are listening, Frank is an artist too, so he can actually like draw pretty well. So
I like drawing, dude. I wouldn't put myself in any scale. All I could say is when I get in the mood,
Yeah.
that drawing is gonna come out
that's
cool.
yeah, absolutely. So when you show it to somebody, like they're gonna get the idea right away.
Yeah.
That's fun. And are you there like the whole time, like nitpicking at
Nah,
the
hell
design,
no, dude.
like,
It's like I said, you have to have a team.
and you
All
trust
my
them?
team they're already solidified. It's already Gucci. They know how I am with business, and how I do business is I place an order. You give me what I ordered, I give you money.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how I do business, and that's why people fuck with me.
Right,
Because
right.
I don't mess with nobody's money, and they don't mess with my money. And all these guys, they're ready to go because they're hustlers too. You know, you build a
Yeah.
team of hustlers. What the fuck do you think is gonna come out of that?
Right,
You know?
right.
Even my guy, I had him make some stuff for me for the kids for Christmas. He does like wooden signs, like with the laser.
Oh, the wood burning?
Yeah, the wood burning. And he made Fortnites for Christian and my nephew Daniel.
Oh, really?
Fortnite signs. Yeah,
That's cool.
And it's just like I didn't ask him how much or anything. All I said was, "Yo, dude, can you do these?" "Yeah, I got you." Cool. He did them, showed me. All right, what do I owe you? Sent him the money,
Right.
shipped them. That's it. And you have to have those people around, but you have to be that kind of person
Yeah.
that deserves those people around because they know if they need anything from me, they
It's the
got
same
it.
thing.
It's the same thing, you know, and you build that kind of network. And then that goes back to what you were saying about trying to have a lot of friends. It's like you want to have a good network. And if you have a good
Yeah.
network, then you're Gucci.
Right.
But to let somebody in that can cause you any sort of pain, whether, you know, physically, mentally, harmful to your business.
Yeah.
If you give anybody the power to be harmful to you, that's where you're really giving up. And I don't have that many people in my life at all. And I like to keep it like that.
Right.
Because
right.
I still have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends that I could hit up and I could go spend the weekend at their house across the country.
Yeah.
And we'll go do rad shit.
Right,
You know, if
right.
just to get away or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, nobody needs to be in my business. Nobody
Right.
needs to be in my immediate circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it's time for friends, then it's time for friends. But we're our own team
Absolutely.
right here. I don't need time away from my wife or my son.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
it's just like when we got shit to do, we do it. But you know,
That's that's true. You know, it's like, yeah, this is my team right here, you know, and this is us.
this is
And
us. Yeah.
So that's awesome, man. Was there anything that you wanted to just kind of talk about more?
No, dude, I really like your interviewing
Yeah.
skills, man.
I didn't
You're doing
mean to.
good.
I didn't mean to.
You did good, bro. It's dope, man. I really never get a chance to talk about myself, and I love myself, so I like to talk about.
Well, I know
myself.
you always have, you know, people on your channel, but I just you know, for me, like, you are like the just kind of like the example, right, of what somebody like me, you know, would look up to.
Yeah.
and just
Hell
kind of
yeah.
really
Thank
like
you, bro.
you know, strive for. And that's really important, man, is to know that there's somebody there, you know what I mean, who's doing the same thing, like who believes in the same things as
Yeah.
you. And yeah, it's really cool just to watch you grow, man. It
Fuck
really
yeah,
is.
dude. I appreciate that, man. And I know that, and that's a responsibility
Yeah.
that I have too. Because I can't be out disrespecting or acting a fool or,
Right.
you know, or just like not being good to my customers or anything. Like, I can't do that because
Yeah.
I've been speaking this message. I'm not
You gotta
know?
lead by example.
I gotta lead by example, and it doesn't harm me
Right.
at all. It excites me.
Yeah.
So I love when I see people hustling. Like when you were starting the no drop, I love that shit,
Yeah.
dude. I didn't give a fuck what it was. You know, I was gonna use
Yeah.
it. If it was a fork, I'm gonna be using
Right.
your fork. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're my boy. You
Yeah.
know, and that's just what it was. And it just, you just have to have that network of those kind of people around,
Right.
and you don't have to see them every week, every month. You see them whenever you see them.
Yeah.
But then when you guys link up, it's cool, you know. But everybody's got their own life that they're living, and we all have different goals, man. It just depends on whatever your goal is. But the only reason that you won't ever achieve your goal is because of you,
Yeah.
and that's it. And that's what I think about 110%. I think I could do anything in the world in my physical ability, but I know what it would take, and I'm not willing to give that for that.
Right. Right.
You know?
Absolutely. So what would you say, just to kind of close it out? What are 3 things that you would say, like, for somebody who might be wanting to start a business or has been thinking about it? Like, what would you say are like 3 things that are like a must, like in an entrepreneur? Just kind of going through it.
I would say if you're doing it for money, just don't even do it. Like, just go work for somebody else, because just work up the ladder.
Right.
That way, find somewhere that if you're only about money, your job should be to figure out what job would be the easiest to make the most money.
Yeah.
Do that. Focus on that. Don't run your own business. You know?
Yep.
Because it takes it takes a lot of work, and it's a big gamble.
Yeah.
And if you're not passionate about it, just go work for somebody else. You know?
Right.
Go do that. And with that kind of life, you could live an awesome life. You can live an amazing life for the same effort that you put in here. The same effort I have now, I could have put it into Best Buy or something and been in the corporate team.
Right.
I could have done that, but I have no passion in that. So if you're passionate about something, then go towards that. And say, you know, I love cars, but I don't know what to do in cars to make money.
Yeah.
I didn't love cars so I can have a business. I have a business because I love cars.
Right.
That's how that happened. So just whatever you're doing, just give 110% to that. If it's podcasting, just give 110% to that. If you're not podcasting, if you're not learning how to edit, if you're not saving for equipment, if you're not listening to podcasts, taking notes, if you're not trying to build content, like, you're not going to succeed.
Right.
But you can do this, and if you focus on that, then you can monetize it. Then you make money off of it. But you want to jump into some shit and make money off it off the bat? Like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Why would that happen for you?
Right.
Why? You didn't put no fucking work in. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And all this work you're putting in is going to pay off in the long run. But don't expect to be in the long run because you haven't done the work of the long run. Like, who the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Put your work in. And I'm doing my work now. And and when I have the things that I want, my big audacious goals, when I have those things, it's because I worked to live that life, to have those things. I'm not stepping forward just because I can. You know, I haven't paid those debts yet.
Right.
And I have to pay those debts in my own head. I have to live how I want. And when I feel that it's right, when we feel it's right to make these moves or that move, then we're going to do that.
Nice.
And then the third, you said 3, right? 3 things.
So don't do it for money.
Mm-hmm.
Do it because you're passionate. And what would you say the other 2 are?
That was 1?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that was a long one, dude.
That's what I was just letting you go.
I'm a talker, bro. I'm telling you.
That's fine. That's what you do
business,
on podcasts. You talk.
If you want to know about business, watch every single gangster and drug business movie that you can, and always watch what goes wrong. And I could tell you any movie that you've watched, the only thing that goes wrong is greed and distrust.
Every time.
That's all it is. So you hone in on your team and you get the most loyal and trustful people around you and skilled, and you guys build the fucking Megazord, dude. You know, all my guys.
A Power Ranger.
Power Ranger, dog. You know, all my guys that I have, if they needed something from me, like, I would be part of their thing. And then if I needed them to be part of my thing, it's just a network.
That's how it is.
That's how it is. You got to build a network.
Yeah.
But you have to be a Power Ranger. You can't be a Megazord if you're not a fucking Power Ranger, dog. You have to have those powers, you know? You have to have something.
Be able to combine.
Yeah, you have to have some kind of skill that you're bringing towards the table. And if you're trying to like slick talk your way, that's only going to get you so far.
Can't fake the funk.
Can't fake it, dude. Because the real will recognize that shit. And if I see that shit real quick and people talking business lingo and I'm like, yeah, okay, bro, cool, whatever, dude. Like, I don't care about what you're talking about right now because you're not the kind of person I would ever do business with.
Right.
You know, so I would say to do research on that kind of shit because then you'll realize what it really takes to build a solid team. And then you do research towards people who have solid teams, who you've seen grow and how to like figure that shit out. You know, always learn, dude.
Always be learning.
Always be learning, dude. Always just take advice from, or just take it into consideration. Any ideas that you have around, just the more that you can have in your brain, the better. And then the third is just if you're gonna do it, just fucking do it. Like you don't need anybody's.
Just do it.
Just do it. You don't need anybody's permission. Like if you're gonna do it, but don't bitch to nobody. It's your fault. This is all from the point that you decide to take this on. Everything is your fault. 100%. So I don't want to hear fucking anything. Nobody wants to hear me bitch about anything, G. This is my decision. I decided to fucking quit Best Buy. That was not anybody else's decision. So if you don't know how to change with the times, if you don't know how to adapt, if you don't have thick skin, if you don't have fucking balls, don't even fucking do it, man. Because this is where the boys separate from the men.
Yeah.
And this is where people who make shit happen, make it fucking happen.
It's chess, not checkers.
This is chess, not checkers. You can put me anywhere. Put me in the fucking stamp collecting community, dog. I'm going to have that rare ass, you know? I'm going to have that rare stamp from fucking Jesus. When Jesus used to send shit.
Send mail.
When Jesus used to send mail. I have that stamp. You know, it's just about hustling, dog.
Absolutely.
Fucking put me on whatever, dude. I'll hustle it out, bro. Like, it's nothing, man. Because if somebody else could do it, I could fucking do it. I just know it takes work. 100. And it's just so many people just wasting their fucking time doing nothing, dude. Doing nothing and talking about everybody who's doing nothing. Like, you're watching the show, bro. Don't you want to be in the show? Don't you want to have your own book?
Yeah, don't you want people to be talking about you on the show?
Exactly, dude. Come on, dog.
Yeah.
Like, do something, bro. Just fucking do it.
And that's one of my big messages for all my listeners is just do it, man. The only difference is between you doing it and you not doing it. It takes the same effort, you know? So what do you have to lose? I don't know if that made sense, but
it's every day you're going to have to deal with struggles every single day. So either you could keep dealing with the same struggle day in, day out, or you can discover new struggles and figure out new ways. Hey, this struggle might not be that bad. You know, this struggle is a little better than that struggle. If I had to wake up every day at 6 a.m. to go to Downstar, it would be better than waking up at 6 a.m. going to Best Buy. Even if I'm making the same fucking amount of money, I don't care.
Right.
You know, like this is me. This is my thing that I created. This is my machine. And I want to leave this. I want to leave a fucking legacy. You know, I want to inspire people. I want people to start believing themselves. I want them to give that mentality to their kids.
Yeah.
And where their parents failed them, they can give to their kids now because they feel it. I don't care if you're graduating high school and you want to go to community college. Go to community college and get that fucking AA.
Yep.
Make that shit happen. Finish it in a year and a half. You know, bust that shit out. Like, go towards your goal and do it. You know, and if you're on drugs, like, slam it all. Do it fucking all, dude. That you're gonna die. So that's what's in your future. So just fucking do it.
Just go for it.
Just fucking go for it. No, I'm just kidding.
So
don't do drugs.
The other thing too, we should try testing some drop shipping with Downstar.
Yeah, you're gonna have to put me on to that one.
You're gonna have to see about that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Do you ever sell on eBay or anything like that? I'll have to show you how it works. But
yeah, I don't do any eBay or Amazon, but I mean, my ears are always open, dude. We're always down for growth.
Yeah,
you know,
we'll definitely have to see how we can collab with
make this money, dog.
Let's do it.
Fuck it.
Cool, man.
Good shit, man. Well, it was really, really good sitting down with you, dog. I think this is kind of dope to do like a co-podcast.
Yeah, like a mashup.
Yeah, because then now your people can hear it and mine can hear it. And
yep.
Hopefully it transitions over.
That's what I'm hoping for. That's really, you know what, especially because like we're both local, right? So anyone listening to this, like, they're gonna be able to really relate, especially you know, if they're in your industry and they like cars or your community, just like your boy did. Let me see. I want to see what his name was.
Oh,
actually, because big shout out to him because he just hit me up. His name is this guy OG Works. Shout out to OG Works.
Shout out to you, bro.
I don't know.
OGWORKZ_. What up, bro? Good shit, man. That's dope. Cause I haven't even I don't know if I've ever interacted with him before, but what we did brought him to you.
Yeah.
And hopefully it did something for him. Gave him some gems.
And if it helps one person, man, then that's why we do it.
Hell yeah, dude. But let's do this shit again, man. This was fun.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Episode 29. Next episode is going to be recorded, but I got to get a camcorder, so I'm working on that one. Hopefully I can get it ASAP. But we're on it, guys. New Year's going to be exciting. In the first 2 weeks, I'll be going to Japan. I think we leave like on the 9th. We leave on the 9th, so not even 2 weeks into it.
Wait, you're going? Did you already go?
I went in January of this year. So I'm going January 2019, me and Ashley.
Business or pleasure?
Yeah, business and pleasure. So it's going to be a good
that's tight.
It's going to be a good new year. I have a lot of hopes for the podcast. And like I said, man, hard work, that's all it's going to take. So
what
I'm
are goals?
Be grinding.
Goals for 2019 for Downstar?
For Downstar itself?
Yeah.
Just to grow another fucking 30%, maybe make that bitch 50%, you know? My initial goals all the time is just beat the month that it was the last year before. That's always my goal. You know, however much we beat it by, that's good. But any growth is good. You know, personal growth. We want to buy a house.
Nice.
So I want to buy a house this coming year. Podcast. I want to grow the podcast as much as I can. You know, to the point where we have sponsors and such. Right. Where it becomes a second source of income, and then we'll be able to attract different kind of guests, and maybe that'll branch us out to other places.
Nice.
You know, because I'm really passionate about the music industry, so I'm hoping that I can kind of get into that in some way.
Sweet.
So
nice, man.
I got a lot of plans, bro, but I'm not gonna stress myself out over it. You know.
Any new products that are maybe in the works?
What do I have? Nothing really.
Yeah.
Nothing worth mentioning.
Right. Okay.
Right now.
Nice.
But so for your guys, man, if you can check me out, Frank_Downstar, or the company is Downstar. And where can they find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at the Entrepreneur Podcast, or you can find the podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, as well as so Frank's podcast is called Downtime with Downstar. You can find him on Instagram as well.
Yeah. All right, man. So we'll definitely do this soon. I really appreciate it. You did a good job, bro.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah. I hope you guys were entertained.
All right. Peace.